Hey everyone, it's CL. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 6, and for today's video I'm kind of just going to work on a booktube project that I have, and then just kind of sit here and chit chat whatever pops in my head, and we'll just see where it goes. So what I'm going to do right now, this is a bullet journal that I've been working on that's specifically for books. Now I don't know what to call it yet, whether it's like a Booktube Bullet Journal or a Books Bullet Journal. I don't know what to call it, but it's everything related to books and reading. And I did have one of these this year, but the problem with that one is that I combined it with my writing. Like the first half was reading and the second half was writing, and then throughout the year I started to really not like it because it got to the point where my reading stuff was in the middle of my writing stuff and it was driving me crazy. So for 2017 I'm dedicating an entire bullet journal specifically for reading, and yeah, a lot more goes into books and reading than you would expect to. So right now I am just going to work on my first few pages. I had drawn some bookshelves here. Hopefully these bookshelves, so ideally as I'm finishing books in 2017, I want to go ahead and like color the books. So if I color it, it means that it's completed. And my first go around with the books that I'm going to write down are just like the books that I have, that I own, that I still have to read. So that's what I'm going to start with. That definitely won't take up a whole lot of space. I might have this whole page left blank. And then I was thinking that this page here or wherever there's leftover spots, I will write down books that I really want to read, and maybe I don't own those, maybe I still need to get my hands on them, but yeah, we'll see where it goes. And what I'm doing is I'm just writing the titles. I'm not really going to pay attention to like author names because that's not really important as far as I'm concerned. So just writing down the titles of the books that I still have to read that I own. And I can't believe that we're already in very close to 2017, because I'm not gonna lie, 2016 was a really bad year for me. Like a lot of drama went on and it was just not a good year for me. And I want to say like 2017 will be a better year, but as far as like the drama and the toxic people that I'm surrounded by, I think that will probably be more of the same. I hate to be a pessimist in that sense, but one thing that I am going to try to do in 2017 is kind of focus more on the things that make me happy and try not to let those toxic people, let those negativity that's surrounding me get in my head, you know? That's one thing I regret in 2016, is kind of just absorbing like a sponge all that negativity that's going on right now in my life. So yeah, and if you can hear that coughing, that's my daughter. She's still sick, but she's getting better. I really started to know that I was struggling in 2016 when I stopped doing the things I love. Like even when it comes to books, I didn't read nearly as much as I did last year. Like I barely read anything, in my opinion. I normally will read a lot more. I normally will be more engaged when it comes to my books, and I just hit like a wall where I knew I was just like stewing in my depression and being caught up in the negativity that's surrounding me. And that's one thing I regret, that I wasn't able to bounce back and keep things in perspective like I normally would, and letting things get to me so easily. So yeah, so in that sense, I hope 2017 brings a lot of good things, even though it might also be a hard year. I'm going to go into it with a better attitude, a better mindset, and kind of focus more on me and the things that make me happy, and not in like a narcissist way, but just, you know, steer clear of negativity and not get swept up into that negativity wave. And one thing that I'm really considering in 2017, in particular in January, I am really considering going to Disney World to kind of kick off the new year in a positive way, doing something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to go to Disney World, and this is the closest I have ever lived to Orlando, Florida. And I'm thinking, you know, if I don't do it now, then I'll never do it. The opportunity won't present itself. So I'm thinking, maybe I'll take the kid mommy and daughter day to Disney World for a week. So that's what I'm planning. I'm gonna try to see if I can really do that because I really, really want to go to Disney World and kind of just start the year happy, on a happy vibe. I know this is random, but you know what's weird? Today I randomly started getting alerts for my fan fiction that I've written super, super long ago. I haven't written fan fiction in like a handful of years, and out of the blue I'm getting all these alerts that people are like favoriting my story and leaving comments and following me as an author. I was like, I'm not sure you want to follow me. I haven't written anything in so long, but it's nice to see that my stories that I've written so long ago are still making an emergence, you know? So yeah, this is a bullet journal that I've been working on since mid this year. And I am gonna do like a flip through of this bullet journal come January. I'll do a flip through and you'll be surprised how much goes into reading, especially if you're part of the Booktube community. There's a lot of things I want to keep track of, a lot of lists I want to have. So I'm really super excited to have a bullet journal dedicated solely for Booktube and reading and all book related things. By the way, shout out to all the people that gave me a comment yesterday on yesterday's vlog. I mean, thank you. All the comments were really positive and I appreciate it. Sometimes I get a little lost in just my mind running, you know? And then one of the commenters said, hey, if you want to wear your pajamas, go ahead. It's not a big deal. Something to that extent. And I was like, oh, you know what? They're right. So today I am wearing my pajamas. And it feels really good. I know you guys can't see me, but I'm wearing my pajamas and it's really low-key, stress-free. So I'm really, really happy. In this moment, I'm feeling happy. So thank you, everyone who commented yesterday. I appreciate it and I read all your comments. And by the way, over off on the side, I do have all these gel pens. I think I bought this at Target. They had like a super pack. So I got a bunch of gel pens and yeah. A lot of the books that I'm writing down are books that I started and haven't finished. Like some of them I've gotten halfway, some of them I'm almost finished, and for whatever reason I put them down. I didn't pick them back up. And so yeah, so I'm hoping in 2017 I'll be able to knock a lot of books out because I've already started them. I actually seen like this bookshelf idea on Pinterest. I thought it was like a super great idea and it looks really cute, so I'm definitely trying it. I'm already loving it. Like I like putting together things like this. I like having like a little book and trying to be creative and deciding like what will go in my bullet journal, what lists do I want to keep track of, all that stuff. Like one of my pages I have laid out like a count of what sort of genres I'm reading, so I can look back and see like, am I reading mostly fantasy, am I reading mostly YA? I'm just curious if I have a good balance or if my reading tends to sway to a particular genre. So ideally I would want to like be well-rounded in my reading, but honestly I think mostly I read like YA and fantasy and some nonfiction books sprinkled in there, but for the most part I tend to stick to those genres, but I do want to dabble into other genres and become more well-rounded. One thing I do have to say though, I am coming across a lot of great channels. I have subscribed to a good handful of new people that I am finding on Booktube, and I just am really, really enjoying their content. They make me excited to pick up my books, make me excited to become engaged in the community again, more so. So yeah, I'm really, really liking the trajectory that I'm on. One of the pages in this bullet journal, I want to start keeping track of like series I'm following, because there's a lot of series that I started and have not finished. So what I'm going to do is take like a handful, or I have started already, but I'm going to have like a handful of pages in here where I list out the series that I'm following, and I'll list out all the volumes in the series, because a lot of them that I started have already completed, but I'm like in the middle of it. So I'm going to like write down all the books in the series and mark off which ones I've already read, which ones I still need to read. And I'm thinking also of maybe writing down like whether or not I own it or what, because there's a lot of volumes I have, but sometimes the ones I own tend to skip. Like maybe I have read up to volume 4, but then it skips, and then the next one I own is like volume 6, you know? So I want to keep track of that stuff. So when I see like a sale on Book Outlet, or if I'm at the library sale and I come across one of the volumes, I know which one to buy, which one I still need to get my hands on. One of the books that I'm reading right now is Tori Spelling's book, Notorious. And I'm not gonna lie, it's actually really entertaining, because I used to watch all those shows that she was in, like Friend Me. I used to watch those Lifetime movies she was in, and it's crazy because until I read her book, I'm about halfway through, some of the movies she was in, I didn't realize that she was in it, like Troop Beverly Hills, those older movies, like when she was younger, she played in those movies, and I just never connected the dots that that was her. She played in like Saved by the Bell when she was a teen, I think. So, and one of the things I do like about her book, it feels like she didn't use a ghostwriter right away. Like, I feel that she genuinely wrote the first draft. It reads like how she would talk, in my opinion. But I mean, not to say that maybe that's not a ghostwriter, because ghostwriters can be very talented and get the tone spot on, you know. But for me, it feels like she wrote at least the first draft, and of course that gets cleaned up in the editing process. But I like that. I like when people, especially when it's about your own life, I like when they write it themselves. Like, even if it was like the crappiest book, if you wrote it the crappiest way, as long as you wrote it, I mean, I think that's worth a lot, as opposed to getting a ghostwriter and just telling the ghostwriter stories and the ghostwriters putting their spin on everything. So I prefer that when it comes to memoirs and stuff like that, that the person it's about, that they write it themselves. Hey, I'm back. My camera cut off for whatever reason. Maybe my memory card was full, but I emptied it, and now I'm back. And I was in the middle of telling you all something, and it rudely cut me off. So what I was saying was that if you ever want someone to be brutally honest with you, you should have kids, because they definitely do not hold back. And one day my daughter was asking me, she knows I upload videos to YouTube, and she was like, how many thumbs up did you get, mommy? And I was like, oh, today I got like 6. That's pretty good. And then she says, Dan gets a lot more. And she's talking about Dan from the Diamond Mine Cart. She watches like gaming channels that she really loves, and I let her use my YouTube account for her to watch her channels that she loves. And then one day I came in the room and she's like, mommy, come over here. And I went over there and she goes, see? And I was like, oh yeah, that's Dan. I really like his channel. He's really funny. And then she was like, see how many thumbs up he has? And he has like so many thumbs up, because he has a lot of subscribers. I want to say his thumbs up were like in the 2 million, very, very high. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, he has so many. And she goes, she pauses, and then she says, maybe you need to make your videos more fun. And I was like, and I just could not stop laughing. I thought it was like the funniest thing. And then she was like giving me tips. She's like, if you play a video game and it's really fun, then you'll get a lot of views. So it was just really cute. She is so cute. And then one time I was at like a department store, I think it was at Kohl's, and I was trying on clothes, and there was this dress that I really liked, but they didn't have my size. So I got like a couple sizes down, and I was walking around with it, and I showed my husband. I was like, what do you think about this dress? And he's like, whatever. And then my daughter, she looks at what I'm holding, and then she comes right in front of me and gets a good look at it, and she goes, that's too small for you, mommy. And I was like, oh, well, maybe it'll fit. And she's like shaking her head. And then when we went into the dressing room, I tried it on, and it was way too small. So she was definitely right. Sometimes you need like that honest voice in your life, and she is that honest voice for me. She is 7 years old, but man, she is a firecracker. I know these pages look really plain, but we still have time. I have like a whole month to make this look pretty. And come January, stay tuned, because I will do a flip through of my bullet journal, and I'll angle the camera so you can see it a lot better. But for now, that is all I have. Thank you for joining me on Vlogmas Day 6. It was a very impromptu, random conversation while I work on my bullet journal, my Booktube Bullet Journal, or whatever I end up calling it. So thank you for watching, everyone. I appreciate it, and I will see you later.